Every successful world has a rhythm that keeps players coming back. In this video, we'll define what a core loop is, explain why it works, and share proven strategies for designing loops that fit your world's theme and keep players returning. Why do some worlds pull players back again and again, while others are fun once but easy to forget? The answer often lies in the strength of the core loop. Hi creators, I'm Alexia, and in this video, we're exploring the concept of core loops, what they are, why they matter, and how to build them effectively. You'll learn what a core loop actually is and why it's a foundation for player retention. We'll break down the elements that make a loop engaging and sticky, so players feel motivated to keep coming back. I'll also share examples from successful worlds that use core loops well, and walk you through the best practices for designing loops that fit your world and keep your players coming back for more. Let's jump in. At its core, player retention comes down to a simple cycle. Players feel motivated, they take an action, they receive a reward, and that reward sparks the next round of motivation. This repeating cycle is what we call the core loop, and it's a foundation of replayability in every successful world. The cycle starts with motivation, a reason for the player to act. That might be a quest objective, curiosity about the environment, or the desire to compete with others. Motivation leads to an action like collecting or building or battling. That action produces a reward, points, items, upgrades, or even recognition. And the reward creates the next motivation, pulling players back into the loop. This cycle, motivation, action, reward, repeat, is what keeps players engaged over time. Core loops can be simple or complex, but the principle is always the same. Imagine a world where players collect gems. The motivation is to gather enough gems to upgrade a weapon. The action is collecting gems as they explore. The reward is the upgrade itself. That upgrade then motivates them to go back out and collect more, repeating the loop. Other loops use different motivations. In Super Rumble, the competition loop drives players to battle each other with the reward of climbing the leaderboard. In Pets Park, the core loop motivates players to feed and nurture pets, and the reward is watching them grow. In Comet Fall, the narrative loop keeps players solving puzzles to unlock the next chapter of the story. Whatever the theme, the repeating cycle of motivation, action, and reward is what keeps players coming back. Core loops are powerful because they tap into the way people are naturally motivated. When designed well, they create experiences that feel rewarding, meaningful, and worth repeating. There are a few key ingredients that make a core loop truly engaging. Take Shovel Up, for example. Every time players dig, they uncover something different. The variable rewards keep curiosity alive. The task list gives players clear goals to work toward, and when they clear a region, the feedback they get makes the accomplishment feel genuinely satisfying. Now think about Bobber Bay fishing. As players fill out their fish album, they get a real sense of progress and mastery. The fishing minigame also ramps up in difficulty as they chase rare fish. So even though they're repeating the same action, it stays fresh and rewarding. Then there are worlds like Super Rumble, Super Boxing Gym, and Kaiju City Showdown. In Super Rumble, players get emotionally invested because stats and results make them care about how they perform. And in Boxing Gym and Kaiju City, leaderboards add that competitive edge that brings players together and strengthens a community. When each session gives players a reason to act, rewards them in a meaningful way, and sets up the next action, that's a recipe for building engagement that lasts. In Worlds, these elements translate into different design choices you can make. A quest board gives players clear goals. A leaderboard fuels competition and progression. Seasonal updates introduce variety and fresh rewards. Each of these taps into a core motivations and strengthens the loop that brings players back. The best loops aren't about complexity. They're about consistency. When every session gives players a reason to act, rewards them meaningfully, and sets up the next action, engagement grows naturally. Core loops and worlds have shown us what keeps players engaged long-term. The biggest lesson, quests alone aren't enough. Loops become sticky when rewards are built into them. When rewards are tied directly to the core loop, engagement increases dramatically. A quest on its own may bring a player in once, but if completing that quest feeds into a larger loop, like unlocking customization, upgrading items, or gaining leaderboard points, players are motivated to keep going. Keeping rewards fresh is just as important. If rewards never change, players lose interest. Seasonal updates, rotating items, or time-limited rewards all give players a reason to return and see what's new. Through practice, we've seen that core loops tend to fall into 5 common styles that really resonate with players. Some worlds lean into customization, like Spin the Bottle, where cosmetic skins keep players engaged by letting them express themselves in fun and personal ways. Others focus on collection, like Bobber Bay Fishing, which encourages repeat play as players hunt for rare fish and work to complete their album. Then there's the care loop, seen in Pets Park, where players nurture their pets over time. Watching them grow and progress becomes a reward, creating a strong emotional connection. Competition is another powerful driver. In Super Rumble, players keep coming back to climb the leaderboard and prove their skills. And finally, some worlds use narrative to hook players. Cometfall, for example, draws people in with story-driven quests that make them eager to unlock the next chapter. Many successful worlds mix and match these flavors to keep their loops fresh, engaging, and tailored to different types of players. Designing a core loop isn't just about understanding the theory. To make loops effectively in worlds, there are a few best practices that consistently drive stronger engagement. Players are far more engaged when rewards are woven directly into the loop. A quest alone is a one-off, but if completing that quest leads to an upgrade, a cosmetic, or progress toward a bigger goal, that loop keeps pulling players back. Always think about how rewards can reinforce the cycle. Additionally, think about ways to prioritize rewards over other things like quests. Quests are just a delivery system. If the rewards don't feel meaningful, players won't return. When rewards feel fresh, useful, or expressive, they give players reasons to keep looping. Static rewards lose their power quickly. Rotating items, whether seasonal skins, limited time events, or new collectibles, keep the loop alive. For example, Shovel Up introduces seasonal treasures that signal players the world is active and worth revisiting. Not every loop works for every world. A competitive PvP world might lean into leaderboards and score chasing. A cozy social world might focus on customization or care loops. The key is to identify the flavor of loop that fits your theme and design around it. And remember, build into your loop, don't create new ones. When adding new content, tie it into your existing loop rather than creating a disconnected system. A new loop should feed into the same progression, reward, or motivation cycle, so the loop stays unified and players don't feel fragmented. In Battle for Steel City, the driving loop is about competing in matches and earning rewards. Every update ties back into that loop. New actions, new motivations, and new rewards, keeping the core cycle alive without splitting the player's attention. So let's recap. Start by clearly defining your core loop and making sure players understand what motivates them to take action. Use rewards to drive that cycle forward and rotate those rewards regularly to keep things interesting. Choose a loop style that fits the theme and tone of your world, whether it's about competition, collection, care, or something else. And as you add new content, build it into your existing loop instead of starting from scratch. That way, everything feels connected and reinforces the rhythm you've already created. Core loops are the backbone of player retention. When you build a cycle that includes motivation, action, and reward, and you keep that loop feeling fresh, you give players a reason to stay engaged and keep coming back. To dive even deeper, make sure to check out the Meta Horizon Creator Forum, where you'll be able to access additional resources and join the community programming. Happy building!